Njue November 18th. The encounter presents a valuable opportunity for growth and learning as the squad aims to test themselves against a continental powerhouse. With Senegal reeling from a 2-0 defeat to Brazil, Harambee Stars aim to exploit that vulnerability, though they remain aware that the Lions of Teranga will be equally determined to redeem themselves.
Stanley Omondi. It's been Stanley Omondi with a chance to shoot. Takes a deflection. It's come the way of Ogam. Ogam turns left. Fires home. Kenya lead.
Catch this match on Tuesday, the 18th of November from 6 p.m. live on KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner.
Friday night again.
Greetings in the name of the Most High, Jah Rastafari. My good name is Marley Moses, the positive warrior, alongside...
Yes, sir, DJ D-Rage, the baddest. Each and every Wednesday from 10 p.m. on KBC Channel 1 TV.
Tunakuletea the biggest reggae party in 254 in a yard extra. Extra niceness of reggae music.
Extra dose of entertainment.
When the thing is nice, we
have to do it twice.
It is indeed exactly 10 a.m. time for News Check on this 18th day of November 2025. An interesting day that we'll be having. We're going to be having 3 candid interviews, and more so today we'll be focusing on the youth. Yes, indeed, we do talk a lot of politics, but we'll touch only a little in regards to politics. So today we are empowering the youth and also making their voice and voices heard. Even we look at the politics that are there and the by-elections that we are going to be having, we are also seeing a lot of very young leaders who are seeking leadership and governance positions. But we need to put this in check. And that's why we'll be having a long and candid discussion in regards to matters youth. On this first hour, we will be looking at public service. In particular, we will be having the Public Service Intergenerational Dialogue Conference, IGDC, that will be taking place from the 26th to the 28th of November. I think it's from Wednesday to Friday of next week. And the guys who are behind it are right here. But what about it? They will be talking about a number of things, and in the broader perspectives, the objectives, bridging generations. We'll be looking at the new version of leadership, advanced innovation and digital transformation. We're going to be looking at elevating well-being and also mental health, which is very crucial, especially for the young generation. Enhance the brand identity of the public service as well. On the second hour, I'll be hosting youths, and we'll also be talking about mentorship as well. And also later on, we'll be looking at the politics in between. My name is Ben Troy. Njue, many thanks indeed for joining us. My colleague on the sign language interpretation is Anne Mwaura. Thank you so much for making time. Allow me now to rope in my panel of experts. Beginning from my immediate left, we have Mumbua Chalo. Mumbua Chalo is a civilian officer working for the Ministry of Defense. Just next to her, karibu sana.
Thank you very much, Troy.
Just next to her, we have Charity Vivi Kilonzi. Charity is a youth leader. You'll be telling us more about what you do. And just next to her, we have Festus Muturi. Muturi is an inspector of mines, the State Department of Mining. Well, you might wonder, we have someone from the Kenya Defense Forces of the Ministry of Defense. We have a youth leader, and also we have an inspector of mines. Yes, this conversation is all about the young generation. They all work in the public service, and beginning from you, Mumbua. Kindly tell us what exactly you do as a civilian officer in the Ministry of Defense.
Thank you very much, Troy. What I do at the Ministry of Defense, first of all, I would wish to thank the Ministry of Defense for the support they have granted me this far and for allowing me to be here. I work as a civilian administrative officer, meaning the military has 26 establishments, and each of the establishments has civilian staff. So civilian staff at the ministry play a supportive role to the KDF, and I work at the Kenya Army, whereby I manage and supervise the civilian staff there. Yes, so that's what I basically do.
All right.
Yes.
Vivi?
Hello, thank you. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I am happy to be here. More about me is, initially, I, of course, lead the executive committee that is behind the planning and the execution of the conference as of next week. So I'm vice chair to that. So you'll see the youth leader explained. I am also a legal officer at the Center for Mathematics, Science and Technology Education in Africa. It's a mouthful, but it is CEMASTER for short. Yeah. Yes, okay. So I mostly just tracking compliance as with all legal officers.
All right, so you'll be telling us, we'll be loading you with questions in regards to this conference, because I'm quite sure a lot of Kenyans, and especially the young generation, want to be part of this intergenerational conversation. Muturi, you are Inspector of Mines.
Thank you so much, Troy. And let me take this opportunity first to thank the KBC for allowing us to be here today, and its management. And I appreciate my employer, State Department for Mining, led by our very able PS, Mr. Ari Kimutai. I work there as an inspector of mines. And we are the young people who are driving the vision. This is the next Kenya. This is the next Kenya, and there's the next future for this country. And that's why we commit and to have that we have harmonization, that all generation. That's why, as you put it clear, it's intergeneration. It's cutting across. We are leaving nobody behind. So thank you for having us.
Karibu sana. And because you are Inspector of Mines, maybe just one question. I might find coltan, because we heard that Embu, where I come from, has very huge deposits of coltan. So if I find coltan in my farm, you'll be the first person to come and inspect, or what exactly do you do?
Thank you for that. Maybe what I can put it clear, mining sector in Kenya, we have a guideline. We have the Mining Act Cap 306 that guides on the legal aspect of the mining in the country. It gives a guideline, because under that we have what you call the mining permit and the mining licenses. So it is the issue of inspection does not only begin after you have seen it or what. It's a whole procedure, but we have the law that is well guided, and the Cap 306 that the Mining Act guides clearly on each step on how we can go about it.
But so you're the guys who will be coming there.
But now we have the inspector of mine. Once the process is beginning to the very last, you'll have us on the ground.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to begin this conversation, and allow me to begin with beyond academic qualifications. What specific competency or technical expertise you have seen a lot of young people lacking, such that you find that a lot of them are opting for private institutions as opposed to the public service?
Okay, I think from my own view, the young people do not lack any qualifications. They have all the qualifications, just that they probably lack the exposure or how to use these qualifications, or just being out there to be able to show what they can do with themselves or for themselves and for our country. So I don't think that we actually have people lacking skills. I think we're actually having people who are actually really overqualified, just that they don't have a stepping stone or somewhere where they can showcase the skills that they have.
Yes.
So yeah, that's my take on that.
Vivi, you're convening this very important conference, and allow me to just break that question. I ask Mumbua, why is it that you find a lot of young people are opting for private institutions as opposed to looking for work in the public service?
I think for the sake of the conversation between private and public officers, you find that, I guess, the public service, in a sense, its hires a bit slower than the private entity. Whereas for private entities to remain competitive, they will require new talent, new innovation, and new staff, and it expands quite rapidly vis-a-vis public service. Public service, especially for young people being employed, will take up a lot of assistive technical roles and administrative roles. So the demand for that in public service gets slower as public service, convenes its service delivery. So you won't see public service necessarily employing as frequently as perhaps maybe is expected of the private service, because private services, you have business entities, you have banks, and so on and so forth. So the influx of the demand for talent and the demand for expertise that is targeting a specific type of gap is continuous and rapid at the same time. Whereas with public service, you have individuals who are employed on permanent and pensionable. So by the time you have the next round of need for an administrative role or for assistive technical roles, it will take you a bit of some time. So I think that's one of the factors that you'll see why individuals will opt for private instead of public service. However, that could be objected to. I stand for correction.
Maybe Muturi can tell us why you opted for a career in public service and not private. I remember when I came here, which is a government institution, I was from the private sector, and a lot of people have even asked me, even to this day, why is it that mbona ukatoka private ukakuja,
Thank you, Troy. I would say that personally, I've been a trained mining engineer. For your information, I'm born again. After I did my study in Taita Taveta University, I first worked down there in a private institution, that is Rockland Kenya Limited, as an engineer. But you realize now, there is also the benefit in the private sector, which I agree totally, because there is there's no long bureaucracy. But I opted to come into the public service because there are more opportunities to grow, and you are able to touch more people. Because when you go to do the inspections of mines, for example, you meet those guys and the young people who are there, some people in the community who need your help more. They need also to hear you. Those people, they need to be encouraged. You also make a contribution to the community, because it is a service. You are serving. You are a servant to the people. And that's why, especially now, like what we are doing with the Kenya School of Government, where I dearly appreciate Professor Nura Mohammed, who is the Director General, that when we had a conversation with him, he told us that you young people, you have the potential. I want you to come and drive your own vehicle, you see. So there is capacity. We can be able to do it. So is beside what you can be able to do in a private setup, but in the public service, there is a whole space where you can be able to do a number of things for the people and for the sake of the public, for the citizens of this great republic.
Indeed. Let's now break the ice. And Mumbua, I'm looking at youth leadership, how it looks in modern Kenya, as opposed to how different is it from traditional models of leadership. And the reason I ask this is because we did see, beginning 2024, I think that is when everybody stood and listened to the youth. And even, looking at the protests that we had, and now we are seeing, even in the public service, PSAs, previously, the last government, we had CASs who are quite young, in their 20s, in their 30s. How does it look as we are right now?
Okay, as we are right now, I think we may not be there yet, but something is being done. That's all I would say. We may not be there yet, but something is being done, because we've seen youth taking up leadership positions. We've seen youth going out there. We've seen youth demanding for accountability. We've seen youth taking up these leadership positions and being able to demand to be listened and to be heard. And I think the trajectory keeps improving as we move forward, because I believe For us to be able to take these leadership positions, we actually need people to entrust us with them. We need mentors. We need people to hold our hands. We cannot do it alone, I would say. We need the hands of our elders. We need to stand on someone's shoulders for us to be able to more of like take these leadership positions and not repeat the same mistakes that were repeated. So I think we can still do better. There's a very, very big chance for improvement. But so far, so good. We're making progress. It's better than making no progress. So,
yes.
So far, so good.
Vivi, allow me to pick from where the Gen Z left. We are leaderless, we are tribeless, in as much as we are looking at Gen Z's, that bold statement, I was even also flabbergasted by that, because talking about we are leaderless, we are tribeless, and they haven't really put a face to the Gen Z movement. And so my question is, what more, especially when we come to this very important convention, can really help the youth to get their leaders? Just like Vivian, just like Mumbwa has said, that you really need somebody who, to hold your hand, or even somebody to sit on the shoulder. How can we change that narrative of the young people? Because at the end of the day, we're talking about leadership. We have to have leaders. But when you talk about being faceless and also leaderless, I don't think it's the right trajectory, if you ask me.
Okay. So this is very interesting in the sense that leadership, of course, has to have a face. But you see, what had happened in the Gen Z revolution, I want to call it that, is it was a means to an end to achieve a specific type of protection against, reprisal for, of course, the price of protesting and so on and so forth. So in and of itself, it was wisdom at that time to ensure that we move as one person, we move as one priority, and of course we don't necessarily, rather we didn't intend to lose anyone at that time. So if you look at what had happened, it was instrumental for that time. Going back to leadership, leadership has a character of, someone has to lead the vision, someone has to sample what it is the future looks like. And so an individual has to come up and be at the forefront so that they can say, as Paul said, follow me as I follow Christ. And so in this trajectory, as at right now, in public service to be particular, public service has no choice but to have, rather it has young people as its succession strategy. The public service is aging rapidly, of course, but then if you want individuals to step up to the forefront, as my colleague here has stated, you will need individuals who can be able to entrust us so that we can be able to be kicked into the box of leadership, correct? And be able to make mistakes, to learn, and to be entrusted with responsibility. There is no other way of raising leaders, of course. And this is very different, because when you bring up the issue of the Gen Z revolution, that was specifically circumstantial, because we wanted to move as our priorities felt like at that moment. So trying to reproduce that might be a bit difficult for the sake of innovation, development, and progress, of course. But that's not to dismiss it as wisdom that was instrumental at that time to actually put forward a specific message. But in this sense, especially for the youth in public service, you will find that a couple of leaders and a couple of, if I won't go into politics, but even our heads of departments, our CEOs, our PSs are becoming, rather not even becoming, but the inclusivity is expanding more and more, and we're seeing ourselves being entrusted to the forefront. And so in order for us as young people to be able to take up that mantle, we also have to, embody certain characteristics. So not only competency in the sense of, our studies and our qualifications and our soft skills, but also character, and also the ability to respect experience for what it is, and the ability to also respect, our agility as young people and what we bring to the table. And so what you see here then is a leadership that must be passed on. The mantle must be passed on. You have no choice, because the strategy then is the young people will come to the forefront, whether we like it or not. It's like falling asleep. You start slowly and then all at once. So I would say that is my opinion.
Muturi, allow me to pick from where she has left. In as much as the youth right now are now seizing opportunities that they weren't doing that early on, many would feel disconnected from government processes. What do you think a practical step that can be taken to make public service on the lips of every youth? I do remember when it came to last year is when now people are asking, hey, you know, the airport, you know, people want to know how much money has been sent to counties. Now the young people are coming out to try and also get to know what is happening, especially in government. What one practical step you think can be used to drive this agenda home?
Thank you, Troy. I think out of the 264 articles of our Constitution, Article 10 should be laid at the foundation of all other articles, because it guides, it mentions of what you have talked about, issue of accountability, the issue of sustainable development. My sister has mentioned about passing on the baton. You know, when you check Article 27, it talks about the freedom and the issue of discrimination. And one aspect is the issue of age. We can't discriminate either the old or the young, since we are all citizens of this country. The most important thing is whatever is said, young people, what they are after is what is said, let it leave the website, let it leave the papers, and let it go on the crowd and be implemented. Because we can talk about an issue and year and another, we can talk about an issue, but if it's not implemented, then it remains a story. And that's why you find that it is important that whatever we see them asking, there's nothing new on the face of the earth. King Solomon said it. There's nothing that is new here. But there are other new ways of doing something. And what I want to see is that whatever has been said, let it be implemented and be put in the practical aspect. And I appreciate what, as you mentioned when you were beginning, the former president, Uhuru Kenyatta, he began engaging young people because he can see there is knowledge. I love what the current president has been able to do. They should have now leave the city. Let's come and be able to have a conversation where you guys are. But with all those efforts, they need to see things being done. It's not just by the word of mouth. Yes.
You are known for, the young generation is known for being tech savvy, you know, and now with the advent of AI, I can say, wow. I remember when we were in school, in college, when I was in college, it's a couple of years back, we didn't have what we are having now. And I say, unless you guys seize that those opportunities, then you're not doing good service to yourself. Yeah. How do the public service, because everyone here works in one way or the other for the public service, can tap into this energy, raw, untapped energy, to better the public service?
For me, the best way, first of all, as we have this conversation, I want us to have in mind that it is not one generation versus another generation. The easiest way to tap this is through collaboration. Because one generation brings the aspect of institutional memory, institutional history on one side, and on the other side, the other generation brings in the aspect of innovation, creativity, they're tech savvy. So the easiest way to have this one generation feel included is to actually collaborate with them. It's not the seasoned public officers versus the young public officers. It should be the seasoned public officers and the young public officers. That partnership, that collaboration is very important, and it's the easiest way to make it to the public service that we want. We don't want a public service that's divided, that one side is the seasoned public service, the other side is the young people, because I believe that each and every generation has something to bring to the table. each generation has something to bring to the table, and they have their unique features, their unique strengths, and all that. So the easiest way to tap into this is to actually come together and work together. Instead of competing, we complete each other, we complement each other. That's the easiest way to make the public service work.
I'm looking at, Vivi, I'm looking at many professionals who join the public service. You might find, we've even had teachers and doctors say, oh, we have stagnated for so many years here. How can young professionals here maintain high morale? Because you will find somebody has not had his promotion for 15, 20 years, and it cuts across the public service, so that we may ensure that we also we keep re-energized and revitalized.
I think morale, especially when it regards the agency of person and the instrumentality of money, you can't really take one and not necessarily address the other. So an individual's agency can be broken down into very many things. The person's opportunity to go to hospital and enjoy, good services, a person's opportunity to access education, higher education, a person's opportunity to practically access the basics. Let me talk about the basics, right? And so if those things are taken care of, my morale will be fine. You won't struggle with me at the office. However, as you kind of continue and your agency grows, I could be at this specific moment single and alone, in the conventional sense. And then in a few years, I get married and I have children. You see, my agency has grown. And so if my earning potential also does not match my growth, then automatically we will have a problem where I am compromised, especially with regards to my survival. And so if you want to give the youth morale, you also have to pay close attention to their agency. Where is this person at a specific season? And if that does not necessarily, if it doesn't resonate in the minds and the hearts of our leaders, we will have a problem. We will have a situation where in our offices and in our directories and in our state departments, we are having survival ethics, where I can do anything. Not because the situation, cannot be avoided, but because with regards to whatever it is that I want to enjoy out of life, I want to feed my parents, if I'm paying heavy black tax. And so when we talk about morale, you have to look closely at the freedoms that an individual is enjoying. And if you are not, as leadership, expanding those freedoms, then you are opening up a divide. You're opening up Pandora's box for compromise and survival ethics. And that can be despairing for the public service. And so what do we do in this sense? You have to pay close attention to something small as, when has this person scheduled to go for leave? If this person is scheduled to go for leave, let them go for leave, allow them to enjoy their time, because individuals are multivariant. I'm not just a legal officer, I'm a daughter somewhere else, I'm a church leader somewhere else. And so when we pay close attention to the agency of an individual, pay close, mindful attention, then you easily get to understand what can make this person, have high morale at work. And high morale at work is not only the output. We also want to have a whole individual. It's not just a worker. We want to have charity in her wholeness at work, doing something for herself and contributing to service delivery.
All right, let's look at the conference now. Muturi, I'm looking at leadership. This is something that you also be talking about in the conference, between 26, 27 and 28. A lot of youths are not really into leadership positions, and a number of factors that have done that. Maybe you can explain to us in this conference what exactly we'll be talking about in matters leadership, because I'm quite sure a lot of Kenyans who are watching and would like to attend would want a sneak peek of what to expect in the conference.
Thank you, Troy. Leadership is inevitable. John Maxwell said that leadership is the capacity to influence. And why many young people today, maybe from where I stand or where I sit, it feels that they are not included, is because of knowledge, information. Someone maybe who is at higher may feel that this person is not well informed about this matter. And the ones by His Excellency Ban Ki-moon, the other day when he was here in Nairobi, he said that young people go for the highest education possible. That means that they are going to be informed. In this intergenerational dialogue, we talk about the leadership and the legacy. Many times people concentrate on the legacy aspect. What will people praise me for? But the leadership is that influence. How can you influence people into the right direction? The mentorship aspect. Are you ready to take this young person who has left you, the university or college, and has come to work with you? They have just been trained. And after this training, that knowledge, how can we transfer it now from classwork to where it is practically applicable? It needs someone who has experience. And that's why, as my sister Mombua said, that this is not us versus them, all junior versus the senior, but it's us coming on the same table. Kenya is the best country, I tell you. And Kenya works the best when the experienced and the youth, we are on the same table. This person who is tech savvy, this person who has experience, the question is, where can we meet? And once we are on the same desk, then we'll be able to transfer the knowledge that has been earned for years. Then the competency, this person who is in influence with the technology, the competency, when they have been brought together, then we are going to have an harmonized leadership. And also when we are coming to transfer of the torch moving forward, there's not going to be darkness at any point. Yes.
Mbua, what do you think is the role of the young generation, especially the Gen Z, in transforming public service? And looking at this conference that you'll be having, the 3-day workshop that you'll be having, what gap do you seek to bridge?
Okay, from my experience in public service, I realize even when you have conversations with other fellow young people in the service, they'll tell you that I got into service, and the seasoned public officers were like, you're coming too fast, you're too aggressive, systems have been working like this. There's that resistance to change. And then there's this new workforce of young people who are ready to be very aggressive, who are ready to make things easier, such that something that was to be done in 1 day can be done in 1 hour, say. So there's this new crop of young people who are very, very aggressive and very ready to adopt technologies and all that. So I think one of the things that the young people are bringing is the aspect of this innovation, like this new face of public service. They want to change. People want to make things better. You want, in your workplace, you want to make sure that things are moving. We're kind of tired of these bureaucratic processes that we have in government. We want to make things easier. We want to serve. And I think from this, the future of public service looks very bright. We're kind of moving public service from the aspect of age, hierarchy, and structures to the aspect of service. We want to be able to say that this public service is better. So we want to actually move from the public service we have right now to the public service we want. And the easiest way to do that is to bridge this generational gap. Because we cannot do it alone. We need the institutional memory of the seasoned public officers that have been there. We need to know how this organization started. We need to know the mistakes that were done and how not to repeat these same mistakes. So that all goes down to the aspect of mentorship. So in as much as we are able to bring something to the table, we still need the older generation. That's why we need to bridge that gap. Once we bridge that gap, we are able to partner, work together, and complement each other.
Yeah, indeed. Just like Muturi said, that it's not an issue of us against them.
Yes.
So it's just like giving the public service a new coat of paint.
Yes.
You're one of the conveners, Vivi, and I'm tempted to ask like 3 questions exactly. What exactly are the opportunities that the young people should be looking out for when it comes to mentorship? You've talked about it's intergenerational. Who are we looking at? Yeah. Are we looking at people in leadership positions? Are we looking at people in the corporate field? Just paint a picture for us.
I think this is very interesting because, one, I doubt whether when we talk about public service, individuals understand that it's also corporate in a way. Okay, So we do have technical specialties. We have individuals who are really, really good at what they do. Okay. We have leadership, of course. If you look at the hierarchy of the public service and the leadership at the top, of course, it's going to get a bit political because, well, that is by virtue, in a way, it kind of feeds into appointments and other things. But that's neither here nor there. However, we do have, when it comes to just narrowing down to the youth in public service and the opportunities that are there, especially with regards to this conference, we have an opportunity for you to come and network, an opportunity for you to come and learn how innovation can keep up with wisdom. Of course, innovation by itself, allowed to run wild can become a bit reckless, but innovation and wisdom becomes a sustainable pace. And so in that in the conference next week, what we're trying to preach to societies and corporations and state departments and all these public entities is we are going to take what everybody brings to the table and we are going to have a narrative that is sustainable. We are not going to be able to avoid hierarchy and strategies that are put in place because in public service you can't just, approve something. There are certain red tapes that exist and with good reason, I guess, for fraud purposes and other mischievous acts that could be there. So that's why you need a lot of hands on processes. However, perhaps it is time for us to modernize. Perhaps it is time for us to revise. Perhaps there are some decisions that don't necessarily need to go all the way up the hierarchy of decision making. So at the Intergenerational Dialogue Conference, what we're trying to say is we're trying to create a sustainable pace of development, because whether we like it or not, the youth are the future of public service. And number two, we're trying to create leadership that can be mimicked in the future. We're trying to open up this space so that public service can be more vulnerable. It will be a combination of young people and two senior management individuals. So we're going to talk about, okay, so when it comes to succession planning, what do we mean? What do we want as young people? What do we know right now? What is it that we ought to know and what is it that we ought to do? And so you see, with creating this platform, and hopefully this is going to be one of Professor Nura's most astonishing legacy project in his service. It's going to set a narrative where if inclusivity is not at the bottom line of everything, the whole system has fallen apart. So in order for us to avoid rupturing the system, we have to, let wisdom, let innovation work together, so that, wisdom in and of itself becomes stagnation at a specific point. But wisdom and innovation running at a specific course, also paying in mind the individuals who are consuming service delivery, it becomes sustainable, it becomes competitive for the country. It also sets apart the country so that the private sector can be able to competitively produce more and more. Yeah.
Muturi, I'm looking at also the tangible outcomes that you are also hoping for that will benefit both the public service and also each and everyone who will be able to attend the conference.
Thank you. Thank you, Troy. My pastor told me this, that knowledge is informative and the wisdom is directive. And as my sister said, the issue, what we want to do here is the one who is slow to increase the speed. The one who is moving faster to reduce the speed. Because if you go alone, you can run fast as possible. But if you go as a group, you're going to go far together. So it's important that in this conference, we intend to see that we don't have those that big gap in decision making. That something must take whole days before a decision has been made. Why? Because it must go through so many stairs. It's because we want to simplify things. That at the decision making, when these young people, when someone come to the government office, they appreciate of what is happening. You see, I was checking across the Indian Ocean. We have a country of 6 million people, Singapore. Singapore, what they have done is not like our country. We have even youth mentioned in our constitution. They don't have it. But they have ensured that in their all ministries, especially through the Ministry of the Community Development, that all young people, they are engaged. Because in Kenya today, I don't know whether you are aware of this, that the average age is at 19 or 20, somewhere there. So there is no way we can exclude them at the decision making. And they are, as they are growing, they have been to university. You have taken this person through the training, 4 years, 5 years, other 6 years in the university. This person has been informed. Today, what is happening in China, what is happening in Germany, in America, it is available in the internet. So this young man or this young lady will be informed, but it needs wisdom. Person who has wisdom to guide this person. And then they need to open and to receive each other and to be on the same bench of conversation.
Okay, I'm informed that we are running out of time, so I'm going to give you each a minute for your closing statements in regards to the public service you would want.
Okay, for the public service that I would want is a public service where we are able to show up, not because of our paychecks, not because of the titles that we hold, but because we know that someone somewhere in maybe the innermost part of the country needs us to care for them. That's the kind of public service that I want. Yes.
And your take home in regards to the conference? My take home in regards to the conference is that what I've learned from organizing this conference is that when generations are talking, that's a conversation. When generations are listening, that's transformation. Wow. Sisemi kitu. Yeah?
Okay, this was a great opportunity to showcase our thoughts, and I'm genuinely grateful for the invitation. I think for me, what I would want for the public service is a public service that understands that the clock is ticking and that we are serving a populace that is demanding more, that is demanding efficiency. And so the only way to create success is through vulnerability. We need to closely ruminate about our mistakes. We need to respect expertise, and we also need to, and expertise needs to respect competence. So even as we proceed at the intergenerational dialogue conference, we're going to have opportunities and much more time than we have right now to talk about what is ailing us, what we can do, and it's going to be free. And we're not going to have. Some people have noted, is it going to be?
Actually, I wanted to ask that being the last question. Who exactly are you targeting? Can anyone come?
Yes. So the most immediate group is going to be the youth in public service, together with their senior administrators. But anyone really is open to join. You can reach out to us so that we can be able to give you the registration details. And we're expecting a crowd, we're expecting a conversation, we're expecting transformation, and we're expecting vulnerability that is sustainable for the future.
And because the Gen Z are so tech savvy, for somebody who is in Mandera and cannot be able to come, will you provide a Zoom link or something?
We shall be able to provide you that information in a few.
All right, yeah. All right. Moturi, wrap it up for us. It's a good thing that we started this conversation in as much as we're talking about the role of youth in public service, and it's an intergenerational conversation. You started with a very powerful message that it's not about us versus them. It's a conversation, and it's something that also your colleagues have really hammered. Take it away in regards to what we have and what we need as a new public service that encompasses both the young and the old generation.
Thank you. Kenya is the best country. I'd like to say that. And checking, like in the African Union, there are 15 flagship projects, and there are also 7 aspiration agendas towards 2063. I believe if we come together as the Kenyan family, and we don't look at each other's fault, but we feel each other. If you find somewhere where I can't, you help me, we do it together. We can be the model for this continent and the globe. And that's why we, as my colleagues have mentioned, as a charity has put it clear, that we are welcoming everybody, both the retired, those who are working, and those who are already at the joining point. We'd like to have all of them. We'll be gathering at the Kenya School of Government, Lower Kabete, that is from 26th to 28th, and we have a conversation. And we had already released the letters to them through the Kenya School of Government, to different state agencies, to the private sector. We had released them they had been emailed, and they can respond also. Or if at all the letter maybe has not landed on your desk, you can reach out to any campus of the Kenya School of Government. They are aware of that, and we will be able to get that information. Because we want to have, let's have this the point for the nation to gather, this the point for the nation to discuss, and it's the time to transform this country.
A point of convergence, indeed.
It's a point of convergence.
And maybe the last word. You haven't mentioned maybe one of the 2-3 key speakers that the young people should expect.
Okay. So do expect, of course, the PSs and some CSs. I would really want to share the poster and everything with you so that you can be able to showcase the speakers. But we do invite KBC to beam it live, so that we can be able to reach even various public officers in the counties and whatnot, to be able to stream it live.
All right, all right. Last one?
Yes, just to echo what my colleague has said, is that we expect the young people to come out in large numbers, because we want to talk about the public service we want, and you can't talk about the public service we want without the young people. And just to echo what they have also said, we would wish to give our special thanks to our PSs, to our MDAs for the support. And also special thanks to Professor Nura Mohammed, Director General, Kenya School of Government. I remember we gave him this idea and he was able to really run with it. He's very passionate about the young people, and we want such leaders who are able to hold our hands and able to challenge us. Not only to tell us what to do, but challenge us and tell us, think on this, think along these lines. So very special thanks to everyone who's been able to help us with planning this event, and we hope to see everyone there.
All right, that has been Mumbua Chalo, who is a civilian officer working for the Ministry of Defense. Just next to her, we have Charity Vivi Kilonzi, who is a youth leader and also one of the conveners of this workshop, and also Festus Muturi, who is an inspector of mines, State Department of Mining. Don't listen to the work that they do, but listen to what they are going to be offering this 26th, 27th, and 28th at the Kenya School of Government, where all the youth and also the intergenerational conversation in regards to the public service that we want, especially being driven by the young people. We are having another youth empowerment conversation coming up, so don't go away.
Looking to advertise on KBC? KBC announcement services are now available on eCitizen. Visit kbc.ecitizen.go.ke and fill out the online application form. It's simple. 1. Complete the form. 2. Upload required documents. 3. Receive a quotation based on word count. And 4. Get notified via SMS when your announcement is ready. Please note, clearly indicate the type of announcement, service station, and all relevant details. 2. All applications must be made online only. Manual submissions will not be accepted. And 3. Announcements will air after news bulletins. For assistance, reach us on email ecitizen@kbc.co.ke or use our social media handles, Facebook, your Facebook account, and X at your X account. Or you can call us on 0723-892-654 or 0734-780-124. KBC announcements. Simple, fast, and digital. Kenya's Harambee Stars face Senegal in an international friendly match at the Mardan Stadium in Antalya, Turkey on Tuesday, November 18th. The encounter presents a valuable opportunity for growth and learning as the squad aims to test themselves against a continental powerhouse. With Senegal reeling from a 2-0 defeat to Brazil, Harambee Stars aim to exploit that vulnerability, though they remain aware that the Lions of Teranga will be equally determined to redeem themselves.
Stanley Mondi with a chance to shoot, takes a deflection, it's come the way of Ogam. Ogam turns left, fires home, Kenya lead!
Catch this match on Tuesday, the 18th of November from 6 p.m. live on KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner.
Hey kids, are you ready for a world full of fun, color, and adventure? Yeah! Jump into big minds. Watch amazing talents. Try twisty tongue twisters.
She sings a song. She's a song singer.
Dive into magical tales with Wangari the storyteller.
The soldiers march. They look so smart.
Cook up yummy treats. Sing. Rhyme. And dance till you can't sit still. Big Minds, where every kid shines. Catch us every Saturday at 9 a.m. on KBC Channel 1.
You better keep your distance from Amador Zuniga's son. I don't think he is neither prudent nor desirable. You can't be interested in him.
Well, you see, I was told that you and my daughter have this special something. Is this true or just a rumor?
Look, your father is going to be fine with Marcelo being around him. As fine as he would be with a young girl like you.
This is all your darn fault, Nora. You planned this and now you have no idea how to solve it.
His name was Ricardo. Please, Letty, tell me that man's complete name. You better not be hiding anything. Because I am always on your side. And I will always support you. You'd better not disappoint me.
Welcome back to News Tech, and as mentioned earlier today, we're having 3 conversations, and allow me to take the third conversation, bring it to number 2, and the second pick it to number 3 because of a few issues here and there. But we'll be looking at the state of governance in the country, and under Article 132(1), it mandates the head of state every year to give a State of the Nation address. That will be happening on Thursday. And since we will be having a conversation, we don't have time, we will not be having time to discuss that conversation here on News Tech. This is the perfect time. Remember, he will be talking about the progress of national values, measures he has taken to achieve national cohesion and unity, as well as national security. And now joining me on set is Maura Kogi, who is a governance and also a land policy expert. Karibu sana, Bwana Kogi Maura.
Thank you so much.
Beginning from where you are, the head of state is supposed to be giving, actually the day after tomorrow, he will be issuing that statement in Parliament, where the both houses will be sitting. And he started out and still is on the bottom-up economic transformation agenda that is better. From where you sit, the head of state, in his speech, he will still mention where he is on the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, but also as a policy and governance expert. Where do you see the better transformation agenda?
I think, first of all, thank you so much.
Welcome.
And thank you for our viewers. If we talk about the national agenda, we don't look only at where the presidency sits. We look from the presidency all the way down. That's what we talk about better. And when the president was making his inaugural speech, he promised a lot of things.
Yes.
Among us, one thing was about the unity of the people.
The national cohesion.
Yeah, how people being united, because without people being united, there's no way you can go as a country. Two, he also spoke about the economic transformation, his agenda, how he was looking at some of the issues that he was focusing on, some of them being the issue of health. There was an issue about education. He mentioned about infrastructure. He mentioned about housing agenda, that's affordable housing agenda. Among us other things, talk about East African community. How we are going to be doing the business within with our neighbors here, that is Tanzania, Uganda, and the rest. But among us that, he was able to talk about now that the politics are over, after competing with the late Raila Odinga, and the difference between them was just about 200,000 votes. So what it tells you is that there are so many people who are for Raila, and there are so many people who are also for the president. But we also learn there are some people who didn't vote. Don't even remember whether there are over 8 million people did not vote. 8 million.
Yeah.
In fact, the people who didn't vote are more than the people who voted, especially on either the side. The one who voted for the president and the one who didn't vote. So there is that voice that was not okay. So that voice he was able to address about them during his inaugural speech at Kasarani. But this is what we got after that. That a few years later, maybe a year later, we found our young people going all over the street. Those are the Gen Zs that we saw. And it was not a very interesting scenario. So one of the things he got, which almost was to turn the country away, was the issue of our youth. And that's today, I think, as we the president is addressing the nation, I think that's an issue that you need to focus so much on, because I think there's still dissenting voices of the people and our young people who don't have jobs. And they're still complaining that the government has not done enough. But you see, there's an issue that is here. We're talking about the national government. But then there's an issue still that we are avoiding, we tend to avoid, about the role of the county government. We have a devolved government.
Yes.
And we have 47 county governments. So I'm telling you today, much of the economic development or much of the economic agenda that are moving around, that are able to go back to Wanjiku, some of them are at the county level. But you have seen a situation whereby the county government have really sabotaged our economy. Some county government, not all of them, some county government have really sabotaged our economy. How? If you give an example, that amount of money that are given by to the counties, about 400 billion. Right now, I could see that right now, I could see the Junet Mohammed, they're talking about 450 billion. The ones go to the county. So there's money that directly go to the county, who is supposed to be used at that level. So where does this money go? What does it do? Do you have duplication of things? So there's an issue
of the state of devolution as well.
Yes, I'm telling you, as the president is talking about the country, he cannot talk about only at the presidency level. He's the president of all of us. And some of the issues I'm expecting the president to talk tomorrow is about the issue of where is devolution. First of all, devolution came to solve so many problems, because there was a problem before devolution came. If you look at our forefathers, when they fought for independence, they fought for the land and the freedom. Then in the 90s, the likes of Orengo, Shikuku, Matiba, and the rest, and the later Raila Odinga, they were fighting for the multi-party democracy. They were fighting for the democracy, that is multi-party. Then after that, we got a new constitution. That's on the third one. Today, we are having people who are asking for accountability. And these are our young people. That's what they're fighting for. So when the president is talking tomorrow, I expect at least he address the issue of accountability, because June this year we passed a budget of 4.2 trillion shillings.
Okay.
But out of the 4.2 trillion shillings, how is this money spent?
Yeah, I think
and it's a law of the parliament. So because you've been talking to the parliament,
the budget
it is
was,
a role of the parliament.
Was read, and we did pass the finance bill.
Yeah, but you see the budget passed in June. But the budget was passed in June, and we are saying out of the budget of 4.2 trillion, we planned for more money, and we can correct, or we can the revenue that we can raise.
Yeah, because there are estimates as well.
But you're talking about we are planning 4.2 trillion, but the only money that we can generate is about 3.5 or 3.4. That means you have a budget deficit of 900 billion. The question is the president will be talking tomorrow. Now that we have a budget deficit of 900 billion, where do you get this money? How do you raise this money? Where is the problem? Where is our problem? Because sometimes we only leave the problem with the president, but we have the parliament, we have the senate, we have MCA, women led, and the governor. So sometimes as we try to pin everything to the president, let's also try to ask ourselves, could we be having some issue that we are not doing at our level that is giving us a problem? I think that is one of the agenda about the accountability. Accountability based on the responsibility, accountability based on the oversight, and accountability based on the actions.
All right. Let's now go to individual merits themselves. I'm looking at the land reforms. The head of state has been also issuing title deeds. We've seen him also. I was actually at Amboseli when he was giving the deed to Kajiado County government. There are a number of land reforms that he has initiated. I would like you as a land expert to also touch on some of the land reforms that we have seen in his tenure. Remember that he has slightly over a year to his tenure.
I think the president, under the circumstance, he has tried on the matters concerning land. And I can say he has a good minister, that is Aris. Honorable Aris Wahome. I think me being one of the stakeholders in the real estate, because I have projects, I can say the ministry, at the ministry level, at the ministry level, the president and his minister and the PS, they're trying. At their level, they're trying under the circumstance. However, they have much to do because we expect a lot of digitization of the same. So we are expecting...
Are you comfortable with the rate at which we are doing digitization of
no, I'm not
land
comfortable.
records?
It is too slow. It was started all the way at the time of Honorable Ngiru. Charles Ngiru was the Minister of RAD. But since that time, if today you can go to the cyber and get your driving license, if today you are not supposed to queue at the KRA, if today you are not supposed to go and register, to go to the registrar of companies, you go to Sharia House. Yes. Unapanga laini ili upatiwe the document for registration of your company. Today, just go online and you register. What's so difficult for us to do the same on the matters concerning RAD? Are you getting me? That's what I'm talking about. So I think if there's a goodwill, we can digitize all the government services. And that one, on RAD matters, I should sit down with you the same way you can transfer your car to me and I transfer a car to you. And we sell the vehicles to each other once we do everything. We can do the same on matters concerning RAD. This is not rocket science. I hope you are getting what I'm saying.
Yes.
So there is something we need to do concerning that. But now there's a problem that first of all the president need to address. Remember, we have a devolved governments. We have 47 county governments. And RAD is an agenda. It's one of the devolved function. Agriculture is another one. Health is another one. But we are having some county governments today that they have either never understood or they have ignored their responsibility, or they're just there to sabotage the economy. For you to get your title deed, it does not start at the ministry. No. RAD, you have a RAD somewhere in Nakuru, RAD where you come from, RAD in Kiambu. The first thing that you do on matters concerning RAD, after you do your feasibility study and you do market sounding, you normally take your documents to the ministry, to the county government to get the approvals. So it is a responsibility of the county government headed by the governor and the CEC and the director of RAD and urban planning to approve. Look at your master plan and they approve or disapprove. When they disapprove, they give views. Once you finish that one, you go to Survey of Kenya. Then from there, you go to Adi House. Now that's how you get the title. President cannot give the titles if that does not happen. He could have given more if we don't have those challenges.
You have a lot of bottlenecks at the Ministry of Land.
Bottleneck is at this, and that one is not only for those people who want a piece of land. Even those who want to do housing. If you look at the newspapers today, it's talking about we are raising about 73 billion shillings for the housing levy. But they're talking about 1,700 homes. We could have done more.
Actually, that was my next agenda because you're still in the real estate sector. And I don't want to say government building affordable housing is competing with the private sector. It's actually complementing the private sector, you guys included. From the churning out of the house, the cost of the houses themselves, and the infrastructure itself, you're also a real estate agent, and you've been there for years. How would you rate what he has been doing? Because this is a project that he did mention during the campaigns, and it's one of the projects that he can say that is actualizing. What could you say in regards to the affordable housing project?
One, you remember we just got the approval from the court about the housing levy. Right now the money is being contributed. Even me, I deduct my staff housing levy. Even me, I pay, whether I have a house or I don't have, because there's a law that is there. And this was a law, and it was passed. Even if people did what they did, the court said it was okay for us to continue having them.
So it's a law now?
It's a law.
Yeah.
So it is not arguable because it's a law which, if you think that you are not okay, you challenge in the court. So it was challenged in the court. But the court gave a nod to say it's okay, let's continue with this one.
Yeah.
But now, the housing agenda, remember, the government does not do houses. And it is not the responsibility of the government to do houses. The government is supposed to partner with the private sector to do the houses. But now today, we are finding a situation whereby we have got a partnership, very good partnership with our government to do housing. But now, for you to do that one, you need land. You need land. You need land. Are we clear on that?
Yes.
You need land. It is either you partner with the government to get government land to do housing there, or you come with your own land. Like some of us, we have our own land, and we want to do government project, whereby we support the government agenda because we employ people in that and that and that and that and that, without the government competing with us. Because sometimes you also see a situation whereby some quarters in the government want to compete with the private sector, other than complementing. But because the agenda is complementing, the biggest challenges we get today is not at the national level, it's at the county level. Because for any project to continue, it must start with the approval of the project. So if you don't get the approval, would you do the houses? No. You don't.
So from your rating, because
from my rating is, the government is trying as much. There is a challenge at the county level. And one of the challenge that we get is at the sometimes when the governor creates laws that are not supposed to be there.
I'm still on the affordable housing project. Which are some of the bottlenecks that you would, in your view,
one of them
say
is
that they are affecting the provision of a housing agenda?
Number one,
which is one of the better.
Number one, hapa chini. That's the point I'm trying to put to you. Unajua hata ukipanda juu lazima uanzie hapa chini. Ukitaka kupanda mti juu, anzia wapi? Hapa chini. Hapa chini, that's where we start things. And we start with the approval of the project. The projects are not approved at the ministry. The projects are approved at the county level.
The affordable housing?
Yes, no, whatever.
Yeah.
Hata kama ni shamba, hata kama ni nini.
Okay.
If you want to subdivide land, like for instance, me, I want to do like so many houses. I wanted to do like 800 houses. And I got everything. I paid all surveyors and I paid everybody. But I took my scheme to Kiambu County government. But I could not get the approvals. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes, yes.
I wanted to do the project. I wanted to do the project. I want to employ as many people as possible. I had even engaged almost like about 3,000 young people to do that project. But you see now you can't do the project because the governor has said no. Are you getting what I'm saying? So the president will not do it because the governor, first of all, the Kiambu governor has said no. You not do it.
What are the reasons? Because we also need to be fair to him as well.
Let me tell you. When you ask what is the reason...
Because I'm looking at the affordable project being one of the flagship project of the president.
I would like you to ask
and then
him,
having issues
I would like
at the approval stages.
To a media.
Yes.
One day you go and ask Governor, like Governor Amatagi, Governor, what is your problem with you people developing in Kiambu? Because he fought a lot with the Tattoo City. Okay? In fact, he was taken to court by Tattoo City. We ourselves, we tried to bring the project there. He refused. We took him to court. And we got a court order. Another company, they took him to court, like about 7 or 8 companies.
All right. So I want to narrow it down
at the bottom level. At the bottom level,
yeah,
is the county government hindrances. Those bottlenecks happen at that level. Number 2 is a delay that normally happen. Now, assuming now you get the documents now from the county. Now the process now from the Survey of Kenya to Adi House and back to the county government again, that was there's a challenge because the process are not digitized. So if today we can have a digitized process, that's another thing that is also bringing problem. The problem number 3 is about financing. Today we have a KMRC, Kenya Mortgage Refinancing Company, which is one of the enumberer for the affordable housing program. And the rate is 9.5%. Even if right now the interest rates are pushing up to 19-20%, there's a KMRC rate which World Bank has put money, cooperative have put money there, and other stakeholders which have put money in the affordable housing program. But the issue of qualification of people, for you now to qualify for affordable housing program, is issue number 1. And issue number 2 is who qualify. And when they talk about affordable housing, according to you, what is affordable housing? Affordable housing is not 1 million, 2 million to 3 million. No. Affordable housing is people still do not get that information. It reaches up to 15 million value of the house, but the maximum you can get is 10.5 million at 9.5% for the first-time homeowner. People do not have that information. You can have a house today of 7 million and you still qualify for affordable housing. I don't know whether that one is very clear. That's how it is. So affordable housing, people have still not yet understood the agenda of affordable housing. People still think affordable housing needs nyumba za milioni 2, 3 hapo.
Do you believe there's a lacuna in terms of how information is being shared even to the masses and even to those who are being deducted that amount in our pay slips?
But the challenge is, I'm telling you, the challenge is the information dissemination should be done by the private sector, not by the government.
Why? And it's a pet project of the government.
No. Once the government come and explain the project, when they explain to the people in the national TV, I've seen a PS Mwaura Hinga, anaenda kwa TV, ameongea, amesema hii, amesema ile. Now, he called us the developers, explain to us, all those people who are interested. Like me, I can call all my customers. I don't need the PS to come and explain to them.
Okay. I'm looking at the State of the Nation address that we expect on Thursday. What are some of your expectations, especially coming from the land and the real estate sector?
I think I have few issues. Number 1, I'm expecting the president, first of all, to address the issue of the RAD reforms. It is not yet, we are not there. We have a challenge. Number 1, today we are having inheritance issues on matters concerning RAD. That your grandfather left the land and the RAD was not subdivided, and now you need now to subdivide. The family start fighting. That issue is now left now after people fighting to courts, and we have very few courts that are dealing with matters concerning environmental and RAD cases. That is number 1. The president need to address the issue of the courts. You need to increase the judges who are dealing on matters concerning
land matters,
RAD matters. Number 2, we need to embrace the issue of arbitration. People to arbitrate, you must not go through the court. You need to do what you call alternative dispute resolution, like ADR sort of. To embrace ADR, which has been pushed a lot by our Chief Justice.
Yes.
Mother Kome.
Yes.
Try to push the issue. Instead of you going to court first, why can't you first of all address this issue and that's an issue that can also be pushed a lot by the government. Again, on matters concerning this issue of land reforms, we need to create jobs. And I want to tell you, today, real estate contributes about 12% of our GDP directly and 13% indirectly. So basically, we're talking about over 25% of our GDP is controlled by the real estate. And if you're controlled by the real estate, that means it's a sector that we should take care of very keenly. Why? Why am I saying that? Today, majority of the, let's say, the biggest percentage of the revenues that we raise as a country come from taxes and the fees and those kind of things. 70%. That is VAT. That is a capital gain. That is all the kind of taxes. Call them stamp duty, all of them. When you buy a piece of right today, you have almost like 8 taxes to pay. Because you as a right vendor, the one who's selling to me, you have to pay capital gain of 15%. There's a 4% that you have to pay me, I have to pay as a developer. That is on the stamp duty. I subdivide the land, I sell it again to you, you pay again. Once you subdivide the house, that house is subject also to approval fees. The house is also approved. At least you get approval fee for your house. Again, that house you are building, there's materials for the house, 16% VAT. You have employed people, they pay pay. You are in business, you pay income tax. Are you getting what I'm talking about?
Yeah, layoff tax.
Anytime you talk about tiles, you talk about electricals, plumbing, you talk about cement companies, steel companies, all those companies, you're talking about real estate. And that's how an economy can grow. So it's a sector that we need to take care of. So one of the things I should also expect the president to talk about, as we try to see how we are going to raise revenues, let him try to see how can he navigate this issue of RAD, such that we reduce the problem in Sabring Brooks. Look at the case like Mombasa. People are even having to become squatters in people's RAD. And that's an agenda that I also need him to address.
Okay. And also as a governance and policy expert, the president has slightly over a year for his first term. How would you rate his tenure, and what else should he be doing? Because at the end of the day, he's also the symbol of national unity, the president.
On matters concerning peace, I would say that he's tried. I'll give him a yes. On matters concerning the peace of this country. Stability. Because even when we were having challenges with our young people, he was able to go to them. Here I come, let us talk. He was able to lower himself and say, okay, let me come I talk. Wakamtusi, wakasema nini, wakasema, ni sawa. That one, he was able to humble himself. And that is why we are where we are today. Because we don't, that is why you feel people coming into this country and they say, okay, Kenya is a good country. People want to come because even after fighting, I want to thank our people, our youth people. The resilience. Our Kenyan people, they are humble. Even if they were able to go and push the agenda, they are resilient. Number 2, he has also tried on matters concerning bringing the opposing side, and especially the one they were competing most together. That's the ODM. At least because some things could not work. I can tell you, he was able to do a handshake. But I want to say that this one, I think, I don't want to say he did bad or what. I think he was misadvised on matters concerning removing Rigiji.
All right, because of the interest of time, and because that's something that was canvassed, it went through the legal process that was supposed to do.
Whatever it went,
allow just to
in whichever direction it took.
And again,
I think where he was today, I think it is, I don't know. Let me not dwell on that, but I think...
Yes. Actually, I wouldn't want us to get into the nitty-gritties of that, because it was a process that was canvassed, and it went through each and every step that it was supposed to do, because it was impeached by the Senate, and from what we have, that is what under the bridge. But in terms of national cohesion, you've mentioned that indeed he has done something quite remarkable in trying to bring Kenyans together. But there are a number of issues that also crop up. We talk about the human rights record. We're also talking about opportunities for our youths.
Okay, for opportunity of our youth, he's tried to talking about taking people to other countries and such. But I'm telling you, the opportunities are here. The opportunities, much of the opportunities are in this country. That one, I think he has a lot to do. concerning ensuring to create jobs for our people.
Yeah.
And one of the things he can do a lot is the issue of infrastructure. The roads and everything. Right now I can see, I don't know whether it's today newspaper or yesterday, he's approved the issue of having the Nakuru highway.
Yes, yes.
That one will help a lot. It will open up this country. That one on the president, if that road is going to be done, it's going to help a lot this country. That one, if he's going to do. The other one which I've seen is doing about another 58 kilometers. The one which going Maimahio, the one that go to what Naivasha is a duo, another one. So that one is another one. It's also going also to help a lot in opening up on this other side, because if you look at this road, the traffic jam and everything is really bringing a lot of chaos, and the people really complain a lot, and it has happened for many years and it has not been done. But also, since we have a lot of EPZ around, SECs happening around Naivasha route and all that, you know, we have people like Microsoft to check today. They're talking about investing in Naivasha. The Turkish company investing in Naivasha. The Japan investing on the auction and all the in Naivasha. Opening that route is also going to open opportunities for our youth. It's going to help a lot. It's good. It's a good idea opening up that area, because there's enough land to do that. It is near the SGR, because the SGR was done for that purpose. And it is also the area that whereby it is also near Nairobi, whereby our airport and the SGR, the location where all those things are happening. So I think on that one is trying. But that does not mean that manufacturing, because people want to do a lot of manufacturing, is just left unaddressed. Because I told you, manufacturing is an agenda of the national government, but the approval of a factory in a manufacturing happen at the county level. He need also to talk to the county governors face to face like this and tell them, here we need to do it like this, here we need to do it like this. And where there's a problem, he said to open it, because sometimes he's also sabotaged.
And do you think still on the same, the invention of cottage industries? I mean, if somebody has his own house, he can even transform it into a small factory. Just like the revolution, the industrial revolution in China was driven majorly because of cottage industries. Small companies, even, 1, 2, 3 people, 5, 10 people. Do you think they can bridge that gap, that manufacturing gap that you're mentioning?
Yes, it can. But you see, there's two things I want to tell you. If you look at our EPZ today, as you talk about manufacturing and everything, if you look today at our EPZ, we talk about employing more than 30,000 people or thereabout. There are three things which they normally deal with. One of them are garments, the apparel, mangboza guo. The other one is agro-processing. Is processing of agricultural produce and
adding value to
adding value to the rest. Within now, he needs to know first of all now to address, since agriculture is a devolved function, as I told you before, since agriculture is a devolved function, what are we expecting him to do? He needs also to address the issue of how do I now come in to deal with agriculture, because this is a counter function. He has a whole Ministry of Agriculture. Today, the president is leaving. The national government is leaving agenda of housing. Kwa hii mambo za subsistence farming, wanaenda all the way to Garana Kuraru. Like what is happening in Garana Kuraru today? Talk about 1 million irrigation of RAD in there. They're trying a lot. If you go to Ahero, you go to Bura schemes, and you can confirm the same from the current PS of irrigation. I think I've checked to see what they're doing. They really, a lot of work that is happening. Even there's the Garana Dam that is now being already set aside of it for construction. It's going to give a lot of, because kuna shida mingi sana ya chakula. Itaongeza about the food productivity. And if you look at the 70% of rice that we consume, 73% of the wheat that we consume today is all imported. How can we reduce that gap? It's possible to have those dams. Those are some of the few issues that I think should be, we put aside, we push a lot. But also, the issue of the community itself to be properly sensitized. Wasipigane na zile agenda. You can see that there's one agenda that is happening at Kwale. Kule ile inaitwa Mulima what? Mulima Hills. We are having that niobium, which is supposed to make the chuma to become more firm. But you see now, the matter is now going to court. Why again? The people are thinking that they are not involved, those kind of things. And I think about involving the public more, sensitizing the public, how it's going to help. We're talking about 5 trillion Again, you are having another agenda of having in Kakamega, having things like gold of almost 600 billion thereabout. How is it going to improve our economy and create jobs for our people? Those are some of the few issues I think, over and above the national government pushing the agenda at the top level, they should also come at the down level and the government to be involved, national government, not to leave it at the county level, national government to go and involve the people a lot.
All right, as we wrap up, Bonakogi, the health sector has also drawn a lot of, let me say, a lot of conversation in regards to how it has been run, you know, from NHIF to SHAM. The government says that indeed it is working. We had an interview outside here early this morning with the Cabinet Secretary for Health. He says indeed those who are saying SHA is not working, it is indeed working. From where you sit, where are we and how are we doing in terms of health?
I think health is a hot potato. Health matter is a hot potato. If I can be asked, all referral hospitals should be reverted back to the national government. It was a mistake, and I want to categorically say it was a great mistake for us to put referral hospitals to the counties. In fact, counties should have been left with dispensaries and health centers. All others should be left to the national government. The same way the national government remained with the security and education, now counties wakachiwa nurseries, and the same thing should have happened to health. What does the actual dispensaries and health centers? Any other thing back to the national government. Today, the challenges that we fight today, the national government is saying, hey, the county. Counties are saying, we have not received drugs from the KEMSA. This one are saying, the money has been stolen. Okay. So we see a lot of gymnastics happening. So me, I can say, on matters concerning health, if today our members of parliament can sit down in the Senate and they sit together, they should come up with an accord, a way of bringing back all the referral hospitals back to the national government. Right. County government, starting with Kiabu, they have been unable to address it.
All right. That has been Mwaura Kogi, who is a leadership and governance expert and also a land policy expert. And we have been looking at some of the things that we do expect the president to be touching on Thursday. And the reason being, under Article 132, subsection 1, it talks about the constitution mandating the head of state to have one State of the Nation address to talk about how the country, the state of the country, in matters of security, national values, cohesion, and everything. We do expect that, and we'll be having a live conversation right here, and we'll be crossing over to Parliament, where he is expected to be issuing that statement on Thursday. But for now, that's where we put a cap. But don't go away. As I had mentioned, today we have loaded our show with a lot of youth matters, and we are looking at youth empowerment. We'll be looking at bridging the gap of illiteracy and the unskilled among the young people. I'll be hosting youth from GRIC Africa. That is just a minute.
Professor Githu Muigai's legal training was boosted when upon graduating from the University of Nairobi in 1983. He joined the Columbia Law School where he earned masters in law. Upon returning to Kenya, he taught at the University of Nairobi, rapidly establishing himself as an authoritative scholar, consultant and practitioner. He was a legend at the Parkland's Law Faculty, where students regarded him as an erudite, articulate, opinionated, and charismatic. Professor Muigai is a founding partner at Mohammed Muigai LLP, where his prowess was undisputed. As his professional stature rose to commanding heights, he found himself drawn to public affairs locally and globally. In 2000, he was selected to the Constitution of Kenya Review Commission a panel tasked with delivering Kenya's first attempt at a fundamental constitutional overhaul. After his appointment to CKRC, he went on to earn a PhD in law in November 2002. In 2008, he was appointed a United Nations Special Rapporteur on contemporary forms of racism, xenophobia, racial discrimination, and related forms of intolerance. He also served a term as a judge of the East Africa Court of Justice between 2008 and 2010. He was appointed Attorney General by President Mwai Kibaki in August 2011, following the retirement of Amos Worker, who had served for 2 decades. Professor Muigai continued to serve as the Attorney General under President Uhuru Kenyatta's administration after the 2013 general election. He resigned in February 2018, citing a desire to return to private practice and academia. He is listed in major international arbitration institutions as a member of the Permanent Court Arbitration, a member of the London Court of International Arbitration Africa Users Council, among others. His focus in recent years has been strongly on international arbitration and dispute resolution rather than direct public office. Jackie Wimbiru, The Cabinet.
Welcome back to KBC News Tech, and as mentioned earlier on, we are focusing heavily or bulkily on matters youth, and now, because of the interest of time, allow me to just go straight into the conversation where we're looking at youth empowerment, where we're bridging the gap of illiteracy and unskilled among the youth. And joining me on set, beginning from my from my immediate left, we have Faith Matayen, who is a fellow at GRIC. Karibu sana to the program. And just next to her, we have Samuel Mwaye, who is the program manager of GRIC. Maybe being the program manager, you can set the conversation, set the mood of the conversation by telling us a little bit about GRIC and what exactly you are doing to resonate with the youth.
Thank you. GRIC is an abbreviation for Grassroots Nest for Innovations and Change. Mm-hmm. We are a non-profit organization that believes that every young people, every young person, mm-hmm. no matter where they come from, has an opportunity for upward social mobility, improved livelihoods, and every child, no matter where they come from, mm-hmm. should access quality education. Mm-hmm. So primarily we work in Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania, but the fellowship program that we run presently mm-hmm. has fellows from across the region and away from the region. Mm-hmm. So we are an organization committed to and working towards ensuring that every young person and every child mm-hmm. has access to quality education and improved livelihood. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Maybe, Faith, you can also dig in and tell us what exactly you do as a fellow of GRIC.
So I'm currently running a CBO in Kajiado West, and we are dealing with women empowerment, entrepreneurship, as well as climate resilience. Mm-hmm. Mainly because you find that when it comes to climate change, women are the most affected when it comes to going for firewood, fetching water, and so on. So they absorb the most shocks of climate change. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, what exactly, what are some of the programs that you have that, as I mentioned earlier on, resonating with the youth, and how have you been able, because she's mentioned that she's from Kajiado West, which is quite interior, if you ask me, and you are able to get there, and you're not only here in Kenya, you also have spread your tentacles to the region.
Yeah. I mean, thank you, sir. We strongly believe that these young people, wherever they are, they have the skills, they have the potential. All is lacking is bringing them together and upskilling them further. Mm-hmm. So the fellowship program that we run is keen on building an ecosystem within those remote communities that even beyond the time they are in the fellowship program, they can run programs. Mm-hmm. Faith, for example, was in the fellowship program. She's graduated. Now, because of the vision that she had, she's running a program in our own communities. And she's just an example of the many that do the same. So we saw an opportunity that the young people have skills, they have potential, they really want to do something for their communities, but they're not being involved in the discourses. They're not being skilled enough. They're in the periphery of this conversation. So how do you bring them, skill them, and then they serve their communities, especially those remote communities? And I must say that faith doesn't come from the remotest. We work further in, where the locals or the local systems don't get to. So our strategy is to get very remote, get the young people from those communities, build them to support the ecosystem even in our absence. Yeah.
Picking from where Samuel has left, I'm looking at empowerment, and you decided after you've graduated and you gotten the skills that you needed. How did you integrate those skills into the community, and what exactly are you doing to impact not only your life but also of everyone that you are working with?
Thank you very much, and it's worth noting that they did not only impart the skills, but they also held my hand. You know, grant writing can be something, especially for the youth. It requires a lot of expertise, like a lot of expertise in grant writing. So what Greek did is they held my hand applying for the grants, and that is how I was actually able to get the first grant as an organization. So after I got the grant, I remember the very first time that it was like a big time for me, because I imagined there was a lot of responsibility ahead of me. But they mentored me from the initial stages up to now. Yeah, so something that we need to consider when it comes to training people, education and so on, is that we have to be very intentional about the skills that we impart to these people, mentoring them, that even after they have been through the fellowship, we hold their hands. Yeah. Yeah.
And what exactly are you doing practically? What exactly are you doing? Is it a CBO on maybe community service? What exactly are you doing?
So as a CBO, we are training women on entrepreneurship. And when it comes to entrepreneurship, we train them on how they can be able to add value to their ventures. Say, for instance, women in Kajiado West do beadwork. So we train them on how they can be able to add value to their beads, so that they can sell to larger markets even outside the country. The other thing that we do is on climate action. We train them on how to address climate actions from the grassroots. And then the other thing is we also talk to them or mentor them on how they can be able to speak about issues in the community. And something that we can even make reference to is the land issue in Magadi. When you watch the clip that was shared by Lynn Ngugi, you realize that we only had one woman in that conversation. Does it mean that the issue didn't affect the women in that community? Absolutely not. But it is because of the low confidence levels among the women. And we really can't blame them. It's the patriarchal society. So as young people who are coming from these communities, we have to be very intentional about equipping them with the skills to be able to stand up for their rights. Yeah.
Sam, I'm looking at youth in East Africa who are facing significant challenges, especially unemployment being one of them, and lack of institutional support as well. How does a Greek Africa model, which you've mentioned that providing volunteer service component, bridge that gap between the theory, that is the training, and the practicality, which is more or less livelihood?
Thank you. Greek saw a gap. That on one hand, we have especially CBOs that are doing amazing work in these communities. On the other hand, we have young people who can be used to then support these CBOs. Then we came to bridge the gap and to answer the question. So we have these young people who are a resource, but not being utilized, Then we have these people doing an amazing work in the communities who don't know that this resource exists. So what we do, we combine theory and practice, and we really run away from theory. Faith, for example, was placed in a CBO where she learned skills. So as you train them on project design, for example, she's doing it experientially in those communities. If you teach them about any other skill that you teach them, they are doing it experientially. We strongly believe that theory should come to an end. It should not be perpetual, So blending theory and practice is the one way to go. And then knowing that these young people of today are not only going to go for jobs, the job market is shifting. They're not the conventional, white-collar job. So what other pathways can they partake of? A lot of them come from the fellowship and want to start their own ventures, their own businesses. For us, the beauty of it as Greek is that even if they go and start a business, they'll always remember the communities that they worked in, because all of them are aligned to a CBO where they serve. So they can go become sort of business, do whatever they do, But even as they make profit, they remember that there's a challenge that they need to address back in the communities. Yeah.
And still on the same, I'm looking at programs, government programs, because you are not a government project. I'm looking at projects like Nyota. Is it more or less the same business module, or how can you work with institutions like Nyota to complement the youth and also not only upskill their skills, but also so that they may find something that they can do that can bring income as well?
Absolutely, absolutely. So as we train them on these entrepreneurship skills, we point them to these opportunities that are there. There's Nyota, and there are more digital skills that they can look up to.
Yeah.
So we appreciate the role the government does, because literally it's their responsibility. We're just coming in to support them. So we point them to these opportunities, we link them to these opportunities, and what will surprise you is that a lot of young people don't know the existence of some of these opportunities, the education level notwithstanding. So programs such as the one we do, and other similar ones, is an opportunity for them to be shown that there is this opportunity, this is how you can do it. You'll be surprised that even the ones that don't know that there's a Nyota program don't know how to go about it. So we appreciate what the government does. We see our role as supporting the government in collectively uplifting the young people of Kenya, and by extension, East Africa.
Yeah, and being a Greek graduate, how do you in turn pay what already you have really squeezed from Greek, and you're not making a living? How do you pay back in terms of maybe other people that you're mentoring and also incorporating in your program?
Yeah, so I'm paying it forward by volunteering. Ever since, I've been volunteering for such a long time, and I've kept doing that. Telling people about these programs. Some of them don't know. Sharing the links whenever there is an application cycle, and also, you see, volunteering. There is a way it connects you to your original goal and so on. So even after graduating and running a CBO, I still volunteer with other organizations like the Global Youth Mobilization, where I get to actually mentor people who are also implementing CBOs in their own communities, not only in Kenya, not only in East Africa, but globally. Yeah.
Sam, I'm looking at Greek being a nest for innovation.
Yes.
And I want you to just name one creative community work that you have done that can be scaled up, because I feel when institutions like Greek come, they can only scratch the surface. You know, the country is so vast, and of course there are other projects that you're doing that can ensure that our project that you have done that has ensured more or less, if it's scaled up, it can help even more, or even partners in terms of government agencies, non-government organizations as well.
Thank you. In addition to this work that we do, we have a lot of work we're doing in literacy and numeracy. And this is where we've seen a lot of good results. When I started working at Greek and went to Kajiado, for example, I met a grade 5 who could not read the word boy. That thing stays with me, because for me a grade 5 should be reading fluently. But then the reality is different, and data tells us the same. One program that Greek has done, and that has done quite well, is having an after-school program that supports these learners to read without interfering with the normal education system. I think that is something that, if taken, contextualized, and upscaled, should be taken up by more partners to look at. Having just a learner not being able to read limits their pathway through life. If you're in grade 5, you can't read the word boy, a skill you should have gotten at grade 2. What happens to you in grade 7? You cannot even be a driver of a car, because you need to read signs. So I think one innovation that we've done quite well is we've contextualized an after-school learning program to look for these learners who are struggling to read and do basic arithmetic. And you'll be surprised at their numbers. There are many, especially the rural areas that we work in. So we really rally for people, partners, to come and join us in this venture. We cannot have a nation that doesn't read. We cannot have young people who are not reading. And data that has been public shows that they're not reading. Come to the ground, you realize that a good number of them are not reading. So learners are coming to school, but they're not reading. So what can we then do innovatively as a community, plus the government and every other player, to make these learners read and read fluently?
Faith, mentorship, I'm quite sure, has really pushed you a lot since you started out and till now. How has it helped you, mentorship? Because it's lacking. How has it helped you realize your full potential?
Because I've been able to learn from people who have gone before me and now know the challenges and are able to tell me from experience. how I should be able to, what exactly I'm supposed to do to overcome them. So mentorship also gives you an opportunity to have someone so close, someone who is very intentional about seeing you succeed. So it's something that is lacking in the community, in the society. We don't have mentors, and that is why we have so many people, so many young people who are actually committing suicide, because we currently have a lot of competition in the society. People are not willing to actually mentor people to see them rise from one step to another. So to young people out there, you need to get a mentor. You cannot do it alone. You need to hear from someone who has gone before you and is able to tell you from experience exactly what you're supposed to do so that you can make progress in life. Yeah.
Sam, quite some good words in regards to that, and the youth. I hope you're writing somewhere. You're picking some notes. You're in Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania, Sam, and I'm looking at this being a regional network of young leaders and strengthening their individual efforts as well. How do you, the essence that we are now in the East African community and the region, we have Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania, how is this network helping out? And how are we doing as a country? Because you have to start in Kenya so that you may spread your tentacles.
Thank you. We started the program in Kenya, rightfully so, and then grew to Uganda and Tanzania. How this is helping is that when you have cross-border learning, the innovations become more succinct. What is happening in Kajiado, and we work in the northern Uganda, so a young person like Faith now has connections to cross-learn with somebody from northern Uganda and from Arusha and Manyara. So when they come together as a collective, and we're very intentional about bringing them together to cross-learn, share ideas. When they come together, the ideas that they come with to support their communities are beyond the average. It is not the normal things that young people do. And I'll really encourage that young people watching us, be intentional about two things. Learn from across the borders. Learn from away from your basic ecosystem. Look beyond the borders. So we are doing well as a country, Kenya, in terms of youth process development, but we can still do more. Let me tell you, we have a lot of young people who are creative, innovative, but they're in the periphery of these conversations. Let us bring them to these tables and let them have a say in this table. Don't just bring them to market to tick a box, but let them be part of the design of the programs that we are doing, even as a government and as CBOs. So we are doing well, but the work is still heavy.
How many youths are we talking about in your program?
So on average, we have 2 cohorts per year. We get applications of, on average per cohort, around 3,000-4,000 applicants from across the region. But because of resource constraints, we can only do 75. Which breaks our hearts, because we see the desire of young people to be in these processes, but then we can only do so much. So per year we do 150 graduates, but then after graduation we get them into this incubation center where mentorship continues to happen and innovations are molded. So 150 per year, but I can tell you that the desire, the hunger, breaks our heart. Imagine taking 75 out of 3,000 applicants.
Yeah.
And they're all good.
Yeah.
They're all very good young people. So I think that's one of the most challenging part of our work, that you need to trim from 3,000 plus to 75.
Still on the same, how about partnership? Maybe because I feel if you are able to collect about 10,000 youths in a year and you can only take about 150, I think that maybe there are some other places that maybe they can, more or less the same as yours, that they can also get help, because that's a big number.
Absolutely, big. We are now in the process of calling everybody who can join us in this course to work together with us. We are able to point them to the young people like Faith and many more from across the region, like Tyson Obando. Very creative young people who are serving their communities. So we are calling people to join us for this course, but allow me to reiterate that it breaks our heart every time we do recruitment, that we have to cut off at 75.
Yeah, and Faith, I'm looking at your journey of mentorship and of course starting a CBO and mentorship. You're now mentoring others. How has the journey been, and what are some of the challenges that you have faced as well?
So it has not been easy because sometimes you're coupled with mentees who have no initiative, who are not intentional about getting mentored. So as a mentor, you end up getting fatigued. And so most of the time, you have to be really reaching out to this mentee, telling them exactly what they're supposed to do, but in the same breath, you're expecting to hear from them exactly what they want to be mentored on. So there are a lot of challenges, but all the same, I am happy to inform you that there has also been a lot of wins in the same space, because you find that some people are also very intentional about getting mentored, and through that, from my community, I've been able to see young girls that I've mentored going to the university. So they have learned from my story, a story that I'll share some other day. They learned from my story and they're like, we want to be like Faith. Yeah, so now when you are coupled with such a person, it's easier. So I've seen a lot of people, young girls from my village going to the university, being successful in life and so forth. So I'll encourage the mentors not to, get tired, keep doing the Lord's work, because our service to humanity is the rent that we pay here on earth. Yes, and there's also something that I want to mention, that most of the time we talk of youth empowerment, but are we really empowering these youth? For instance, Greek ensures that you have the skills, and you find that some other programs ensure that you just go through the program, get educated, and there's a difference between education and skills training. Because in skills training, you get to get some competencies, be it soft skills, be it some skills that will actually be of value to the job market and even to your own life. Say, for example, you might be so good at your job, but again, you're not kind, you're not courteous. So automatically, you don't fit the bill in the job market. So we need to actually be so intentional about the skills that we impart to these young people. And lastly, when it comes to youth empowerment, you find that youths are called to the table. They share their opinions, but their ideas, their opinions are never incorporated into key processes and procedures. So they are only there for a show. So as a country, as organizations, we need to be to respect the ideas of these young people, because we are no longer the leaders of tomorrow. We are actually leaders of today, and by far we are the largest in the whole world, and we have a lot of potential. So it's time that all stakeholders in the community need to take us seriously. Yeah, because we have a lot of potential. And you've seen during the June 25th Mandamano, you see how the Youth Coalition was able to actually bring key changes in the government. Yeah.
Yes, Sam, I totally concur with what Faith is talking about. And you sitting here and listening to some of these challenges that she has observed, I'm quite sure there are a number as well who have seen, and as you as well have seen these challenges. So how do you think we should work around these challenges?
Bring the youth to the table, listen to them, have them be part of the processes. What I agree with Faith, a lot of these things have been a tick box process. We have a youth program, yes. But what ideas from the young people are involved in intentionally designing the program that serve them? At Greek, we are keen to make sure that every cohort we have, we tweak something because we are listening. They'll tell you, we want more of this, less of that. When you listen to them, then that's what we need to do. So let them not be in the table just for the sake of being in the table. Let them be part of the processes, and intentionally so.
Yeah, and because of the interest of time, Faith, they say a candle never loses anything by lighting another candle. And the youth out there who are listening and would want maybe to get in touch, and maybe there are some who have lost hope. Give them hope and tell them what exactly they need to do. Because the good thing about the youth, they have the energy, they have the skill set, they have the mindset, and most of all, they have the passion.
So if you're out there and you're feeling that you've lost hope, I want to tell you that you matter. I want to tell you that you're powerful, that you have that inherent strength in you to achieve whatever that you want to achieve. If only you can conceive it in your mind, then surely you can do it. So I want to encourage you that no one said it will be easy, and that tough times don't last, but tough people do. So keep pushing. We are here to support you. We are here to clap for you. You will get there. Don't give up.
Sam, you also have a graduation, I hear?
Yes.
Tell us about it, and I want you also to reach out to the youth who are watching and who have sat down, listened to the conversation and are interested. How do they get help?
With the graduation, we have a graduation for cohort 6. Really, really proud of this moment. Young people from East Africa coming together to celebrate, that milestone here in Nairobi. So you are invited, and we hope to see you there. To the young people who've heard and feel inspired, start somewhere. You don't need to see the whole staircase. What you can see, start with that. So all I can tell them is, as Faith said, do not give up hope. start somewhere. But start now. Start now. Greek is there. Go to the website, www.greekafrica.org. Please apply for the fellowship. We wish you best of luck. We've said it's 3,000. Can only get 75 for now. We hope to get more as resources come in. But apply. Apply. Don't be shy to apply.
Where are you based? Because somebody might wonder, how can I be able to... Here she is from Kajiado West, and she was able to get the training, and now she's... Look at her.
Yeah, we are based in Westlands, Wayakiwe, Haven Court Block D, but our programs are primarily in Kajiado. So we welcome you to engage us. We always listen to the young people. If you have an idea that you think can help us grow this work, please come.
And the two of you, I'm just giving you a minute. My director informs me that we are run out of time, but allow me to give you a minute each for your closing remarks.
Okay. So for the youth, I am a youth, and I know how it means to be sidelined and be at the periphery of key processes and procedures. But don't give up. Make sure when you go to that room, shine. Let them know of your ideas, because surely they will definitely bring a change in the society. So I believe in you, and I hope that in the next few years we'll be talking of different stories of how we've risen from the embers and how we've transformed our societies. Thank you.
Sam? Start somewhere, start now. Do it excellently. Do it as it's never been done before. Let the world not tell you that it can't be done. It can be done, and it will be done by you. So start here, start now.
And maybe you can talk about just a sneak peek in regards to all this. We have a lot of incubation, and let's say they're doing a good job and you want to scale it up. What are some of the partnerships that you would seek?
We are looking for spaces where we can have more mentors to come join us. We're seeing more mentors, because this work of mentorship is quite intense. So if you are somebody who is passionate about young people, please join us in this journey. If you know an idea that is worth being taken to scale, please come to Greek. We listen. So that nest is very intentional in our name. We are a nest. We don't shut anybody down. So please join us. Let's have a moment to talk about these things. And be sure that we listen, and listen intentionally.
I'm also very passionate about Matters Youth. I'm not a youth, yes, but I'm passionate about Matters Youth. But thank you indeed so much for what you're doing, and your story. Indeed, continue inspiring other people as well. Well, that's why we put a cap on KBC News Check this Tuesday morning. Many thanks indeed for joining us. We've been talking to ladies and gentlemen who know it all when it comes to Matters Youth and empowerment. We've been speaking to Greek Africa Programs Manager Samuel Mwai and Faith Matayen, who is a fellow and also a beneficiary of this great program. I'm now giving the baton to the Swahili desk for Kurunzi Mashinani and Tamrini. I'll see you at 1 p.m. for lunchtime news. Many thanks indeed for joining us. My name is Ben Troy Njue. Karon Joroge is our sign language interpreter, and many thanks indeed for joining us.
You better keep your distance from Amador Zuniga's son. I don't think he is neither prudent nor desirable. You can't be interested in him.
Well, you see, I was told that you and my daughter have this special something. Is this true or just a rumor?
Look, your father is going to be fine with Marcelo being around him. As fine as he would be with a young girl like you.
This is all your darn fault, Nora. You planned this, and now you have no idea how to solve it.
His name was Ricardo. Please, Letty, tell me that man's complete name. You better not be hiding anything. Because I am always on your side, and I will always support you. You better not disappoint me.
Hey kids, are you ready for a world full of fun, color, and adventure? Yeah! Jump into big minds. Watch amazing talents. Try twisty tongue twisters.
She sings a song. She's a song singer.
Dive into magical tales with Wangari the storyteller.
The soldiers march. They look so smart.
Cook up yummy treats. Sing. Rhyme. And dance till you can't sit still. Big Minds, where every kid shines. Catch us every Saturday at 9 a.m. on KBC Channel 1.
The world of governance is vast and can be alien to the ordinary man on the street.
Critical issues are going to be discussed.
From white papers to policy positions, it is easier to get lost in the labyrinth of words.
Inside Government takes you to key global metropolis where critical decisions are made and where policies are crafted.
We interview policymakers and senior government officials to highlight and enumerate government policies and projects. We take a deep dive into the underbelly of complex red tape to demystify policies across the country, across the world. Join me, O'Brien Kimani, on Inside Government, only on KBC Channel 1.
The police come.
What was happening?
That is the thing I'm telling you now.
Continue.
Arey baba.
Between me and this guy, who come to thief there?
To thief what?
Kuipa mheshimiwa.
Muza to steal.
Nini yote vile?
Sasa thief ni nini? Thief ni mwizi.
Danganyana na morongo yako. Mimi sikujui.
Mistaken identity.
Mistaken identity. Hakuna mtu anafanana na wewe hii dunia wala.
Come on. Wewe wapi uliona koplo ambaye anatuleti?
Trade wapi?
Trade.
Anasema hii. Oh,